Hi guys, it's Matt, back again for your FPL show on the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. So that was game week 9, I think. It was an absolutely awesome game week, an absolute thrill ride. Now, well done if you got in the 100 points club, like myself. Quite lucky actually with Salah captain. If you didn't go with Salah captain, my heart goes out to you because he absolutely bossed it against Man United. Who doesn't love watching Man United get absolutely pummeled there? So yeah, my game week, I got 103 points. I took a needless hit, which really annoyed me. So technically, I got 99. I brought in Lukaku early. Obviously, got injured against Malmo, and then I had to transfer him out again, and then get Kane in instead, who got 2 points. So I was better off just not doing anything. So yeah, lesson learned. Don't do your transfers until the last minute. Ignore price rises because you can get burned, especially if there's midweek games like Champions League games or League Cup games. So yeah, I ended up going up to 209k overall and up to 24th in the Gallowgateshots League. I feel like I'm just kind of going like this at the minute. I'm now 69 points behind the leader, which is still Matt Smith. So I'm the worst of the two Matts at the minute. Matt Smith got 100 points, our leader who's just stayed there for the whole time. Had Livramento points on the bench. I think Livramento got 9 points. His OR, his overall rank, is 901. So he's now in the top 1,000 of the game out of 7 million people. So he's going strong. And I mean, there's still, 29 game weeks left. So still plenty of time to catch up. Our manager of the week in the Gallowgateshots League was Nathan Brunskill. Now, Nathan has a team called Blunderland, which I love already. He got 123 points this week, which is obscene. His overall rank his game week rank, so just for this game week, he was 15,000. So it shows how well he's done. He had Salah captain, obviously. Smith Rowe, who got 13 points. He had Mason Mount, who got 24 points. He had Reece James, who got 13 points. He got Trent Alexander-Arnold, who had 10 points. And he had Damari Gray with 5 points. Just everyone who scored big, he seemed to have. So well done, Nathan. Great score. Although, again, Livramento benched. So my top tip this week, don't bench Tino Livramento. He is what Lundstrom was a few years ago, and he's what the guy from Leeds was last year, Stuart Dallas. You might bring in these guys originally as a budget enabler, but you very quickly learn that these guys actually are just really good players. And Livramento is one of these guys who you can afford to keep playing him. So yeah, I played him. I'm going to continue to do so, mostly 5 at the back each week. And we'll just see where he goes. But he's an absolute talent. And for me, if you've got Livramento, unless he's playing one of the big guys, you've got to play him because he's got that every opportunity of an attack in return. So yeah, this week, that was the league anyway. This week, I'm going to be looking at whether it's just worth forgetting about captaincy and just sticking with it on Salah, because the guy's in the form of his life, arguably the best player in the world. His ownership is crazy, and if you go without him, there's a strong chance. Sorry, if you go without him as captain, there's a strong chance that your rank is going to be absolutely destroyed. And is it worth the risk? Is it worth it? Because if you captain Salah and he doesn't do anything, it's not the end of the world then, is it? Because everyone's captained him. Now, I've had a little look. Effective ownership is something that I only was aware of a couple of seasons ago in FPL. Effective ownership kind of brings into the fact of how many people have captained him. So you'll have his normal ownership, which is capped at 100%. But then on top of that, you'll have the extra percentage, which is the kind of double of what his actual ownership is, based on how many people have captained him. So for example, last week, his effective ownership was 160%. So if you didn't captain him, you'll damage your rank. It was very much this case last year with Kane, Bruno, those sorts of players. You'll notice that if you have him and you didn't captain him and he gets a goal or an assist, your rank will actually drop. which is awful because what's the point in owning a player if you're not going to celebrate if they score? But these things happen, and it's definitely the case for Salah, and it's going to really be bad if he starts hauling like he has been doing. He's 69.1% owned currently at time of recording, Salah, and I had a little bit of research. Mahrez is the highest owned player ever, and he was owned by 73% of players at the end of the season when Leicester won the league. So Salah's getting really close to that. I mean, if you don't own Salah by now, I don't know what you're doing. Mostly got to be dead teams. Now, his effective ownership, like I say, was 160%. And if you don't captain him, he's going to damage you, mainly because of obviously everybody captaining him. And there'll be a lot of dead teams that have just been left with Salah still captained. And because of that, you're risking the fact that even teams that aren't being bothered with anymore overtaking you, which is insane. It's awful, but it's just one of those things. Now, for example, I know the FPL Twitter community was rife with people who, there was a bit of a bandwagon of people wanting to captain Kai Havertz against Norwich. And I mean, just so happened that everybody in Chelsea's team, got more than 7 points other than Kai Havertz. And a lot of those people, I've seen people drop about 500,000 places because they captained Kai Havertz over Salah. Which, I mean, I don't know how you'd pick yourself up after that. I really don't. I don't know how you'd open the app again. So is it worth it? Pretty much, that's a question that I'm asking. Do you look at your team and think, right, I can safely captain this player over Salah and not have to hide behind the sofa when Liverpool play? So yeah, a few things that I did a little bit of research on Salah before. He's got 50 more points than any other player so far this season. 50 more, and it's only game week 9. He's blanked only once out of 9 game weeks, and that was in the Burnley fixture where Liverpool still won 2-0 away. So you'd argue he was still unlucky to not score in that game. He's had 6 double-digit scores in 9 game weeks. He's just been on fire. He's had 33 shots in the box, which is top for all players. And the closest person to him is Antonio with 28. He's top for XG, which is 6.99, and the closest to him is again Antonio with 5.56. In terms of the stats, Salah is just everything. He's just the absolute bee's knees. So yeah, I've had a little look. If you were going to want to go against the grain, because captaincy is ultimately the way that you try and climb rank in this game, it's the best way of shooting up your leagues, shooting up the overall table, because you want to try and get somebody who nobody else has captained. I did it with Sterling a couple of years ago. He got a hat-trick in the same week that Antonio got a hat-trick, and I went from, I think it was 80,000 places to 80,000th to 15,000th in the world, and that's what got me effectively my 19,000th rank in 1920. Humble brag. So yeah, it's one of those things where I always look to captaincy, and is it going to be worth it now going against 60%, nearly 70% of the game this week or any weeks further, and risking dropping massively in the rankings? So I had a look. Game week 12, Salah plays Arsenal at home, which you've got to argue is still a fairly good fixture for him. Game week 18, Liverpool play Spurs away. And those two fixtures, they're the worst games that Salah has. Kane might be a captaincy. I've got Kane. I got him last week. Kane could be a captaincy in game week 12. Leeds at home. You might argue is Salah at home to Arsenal or Kane at home to Leeds a better captaincy. But again, is the risk worth it? Game week 18, like I said, Spurs away for Salah. Man City have Newcastle, and we all know how amazing our defence is at the minute. Being careful, it's a Newcastle United show, but yeah, we all know what our team's like, and unless things have changed massively by game week 18, which we all hope they have, there's a likelihood that a Man City player might be a good option to go against the herd of captain and Salah and actually try and dive into maybe a Foden or a Kevin De Bruyne, because obviously Man City always batter us. So yeah, it's the oil derby as well. Also something worth noting with Salah, on January the 2nd, I think Klopp will be sending Salah and Mane and perhaps Naby Keita, if he's not injured, away to the African Cup of Nations. Now, that obviously puts a spanner in the works for everybody who owns Salah. That'll be game week 21, potentially against Chelsea, unless Liverpool can hold on to him before and then send him straight off afterwards. They have Chelsea, and then I've looked, Vardy has Norwich at home. So there's an opportunity there by game week 21 to potentially sell Salah early, avoid that Chelsea fixture, and jump on Jamie Vardy for that Norwich game, which is something that I'm really considering. Also, you could also sell Salah for someone like Jota, who I think will thrive without Mane and Salah and be the main man. Because actually Liverpool's game week 22 and 23 fixtures Brentford and Crystal Palace. So you might still want to keep a Liverpool attacker in your team, even though Salah and Mane are absent. So it's a bit of a shame that Salah will be gone for those two fixtures because they're quite good, although Brentford are decent now. So yeah, again, I'm looking at Kane potentially. Kane has Watford and Arsenal at home, and we all know how much Kane loves the Arsenal fixture at home. And obviously I've mentioned Jota because Brentford and Crystal Palace are actually really good fixtures. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. It's a bit of a whistle-stop tour this week. Life has been pretty busy at the minute, which hopefully you'll understand. Yeah, the big kind of header for this could be Mohamed Salah is good. So captain him, put him in your team. Should be 100% owned. But yeah, I mean, if you don't go and captain him, then by all means, I can't wait to climb the ranks a bit more and try not to be 24th in the league that I'm meant to be running. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed that, guys. Please like, subscribe to the channel. I think we've got just went past 7,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. Big up to all the Gallowgateshots guys who do some incredible work. So yeah, check it all out. Make sure you're subscribed. Drop a comment and I'll try and answer back. So yeah, cheerio. Enjoy game week 10.